Only a couple weeks back, I here on this channel told you about Nvidia having wiped out $600 billion in shareholder value in just a matter of one single day. And as of today, that number has gone up to a full $1 trillion in shareholder value being wiped out. $1 trillion of wealth completely destroyed. And that's why it's urgent time that we're gonna have a quick emergency update on Nvidia, everybody's favorite tech stock. Stay tuned, we're jumping right in. A couple weeks back in this video right here, we talked about Nvidia having back then wiped out over $600 billion in shareholder value in just a matter of one single day. And right now that number has grown up to over $1 trillion. And if you have paid attention to the stock market in recent days, obviously it's not just Nvidia that's on a downward slope, but it's also the S&P, it's the Nasdaq in a whole. Honestly, it's the complete US market as a whole. They really are not having a great time currently. But that's a matter for another day, for another video. Right now, we want to talk about Nvidia, everybody's darling in the tech world, everybody's favorite tech stock. And as we spoke about Nvidia for the last time, we have been somewhere here over $120, $124 per share. And back then, our expectation was that even though we see a huge bullish case for Nvidia, and we don't think that that whole topic of DeepSeek and their new AI model being super energy efficient is a threat to Nvidia's business case, but in the long run is way more likely to be a supercharger for Nvidia's business case. However, in the short term, we still saw a top being in, and we saw huge potential for a corrective downward move, which as of now we have seen, and we conclude that it is gonna still unfold even more. And that's why after this violent sell-off here with over $600 billion in shareholder value wiped out, we saw a recovery up in an X wave, and ever since we are again downward facing in a Y corrective move. So that should be then the last leg down in that correction. So this overall wave 4 that you can see here in the blue target zone should be comprised of a WXY move, taking us all the way down into this target zone, so below $98.70, so just shy of $100 total. And only then, after that completion of this whole move below $100, we really see the potential of substantial long-term upwards movement in an overall wave 5 to unfold. And that's why me personally, I as of now do not have any Nvidia stock. I have held Nvidia stock way back, sold them way too early. But right now at current prices, I'm in no temptation whatsoever on loading up on Nvidia, even though I desperately want to load up on Nvidia. I will remain patient until we dip into the target zone below $98.76, and only then will I load up on Nvidia stock heavily. And as we move over to the more long-term time frame, moving here from the 4-hour time frame to our 1-day time frame, meaning every single candle that you can see here on the chart, on this chart is one full day. And over here on the midterm outlook, every single candle has been 4 hours. That's just for clarification right here. So as we move over here on the 1-day time frame, what I would want to show you is how in the past we have been so pinpoint accurate with our analysis. Because even if you have a great analysis, that's not a given that you're gonna nail every single target zone. We're playing with probabilities here, right? No analysis anywhere out there is 100%. Heck, if you have an analysis that is 70, 80%, that's a brilliant analysis. But in this one here, in the Nvidia stock, we have been pretty accurate, and it's really a track record to brag about. So for example, if we go back to 2024, with that target zone right here, we concluded that this would be a pivot point and that we would see downward action from here on. And if we take out the measuring tool all the way from the lower end of the target zone, so not even the middle ideal target, but the lower end of the target zone, if we start the short, because we concluded it was a pivot point, so moving down from here onward, we had a downward move of 30% until we reached here into the next target zone. So had you used that target zone for a short position, this would not only have saved you from occurring 30% of losses if you just stayed long, but it would even have made you 30% gains while the market was crashing. And then from this next long target zone, so again here we concluded a pivot point in the market, and I mean, look at this accuracy. So there has just been a single day, a couple of hours only, that we peaked into the target zone. So that target zone, of course, has been established somewhere here in our downward move, and then the price action peaked into the target zone for only a couple of hours. That's how powerful those target zones, that's how powerful those pivot points are that we can establish with Elliott wave theory. And then from this target zone then onward, this was of course a long target zone, we have had a price gain of 67% total. Heck, even as of now, you would still be up 26%. So that's why in Nvidia, I really am confident that we likewise will gonna nail this target zone for the final corrective move down to establish the overall wave 4. But in all honesty, even though I'm super confident with the analysis here, we still are dealing with probabilities. And my confidence in that analysis here doesn't change the fact that we're still talking about probabilities and that nobody can really look into the future. And that's why this analysis wouldn't be complete if I did not tell you about our alternative scenario. So in our alternative scenario, we see a wave 1 top being established here back in November of 24, and with that alternative scenario we could move even way lower than this blue target zone where we see the pivot point for the primary scenario. And if that was the case, we conclude that we would go down in a alternative wave 2. We currently conclude the probability for this case at a 33%, and if that alternative scenario was to unfold, we could go as low as $58, $55 maybe even. But of course that is still a long ways off, and we would of course establish a target zone if the course really was to break below the target zone. Until the course stays inside that target zone or stays way above the lower limit of our current target zone, there is no reason to conclude that this will happen. This is only the alternative at 33%. And even with that alternative of 33%, that still means that the course is going way lower. So if you plan on loading up on Nvidia stock, as I do, no need for FOMO at this point, because either way, in the primary scenario and in the alternative scenario, we still see the course going way lower, and only then establishing a pivot point, probably in our alternative scenario target zone, or maybe even lower still. So that's it for today. If you want to make sure to never again miss a video like this one, where we give out free value, free chart analyses on our Elliott wave chart analysis model, please go to the description, turn on the bell notifications, subscribe to this channel. And if you want to get informed as soon as we have our daily market analysis service ready, please go also down to the description. There is a link taking you to a landing page where you can fill in your email address, your contact info, and we will inform you as soon as we are ready to roll out our international daily market analysis service. As of now, we have a service like this one, only available in Central Europe, where we analyze over 200 assets on a daily basis, giving you out push notifications to your phone, giving you out email notifications on over 200 assets, over 200 markets, with an accuracy of over 70%. So if you don't want to miss that, there's no obligation for you to do anything other than type in your email address on that landing page, and you will get informed as soon as you're ready to roll out that service, and you will even get the chance of taking up that offer at a great discount. So if that sounds interesting at all to you, you should definitely check that out. Until then, see you in the next one. Take care.